Hello and welcome to No BS with Dr. Wood, and I'm Dr. Norman Wood. I first want to give an update on Judy, the Wetzel County Jane Doe case, and then I want to get into a question that is asked of me all the time by women. And that question is, where have all the good men gone? That answer is both very complex and simple. Today, I will start with the simple answer, and it is something many people won't want to hear, but I've never been shy about telling the truth. So cue the music, and I'll be right back. Welcome back to No BS with Dr. Wood. And the West Virginia State Police is now actively working on the Judy case, and we will just have to wait and see what they come up with. Also, we are prepared to exhume Judy's body for more samples to be used in DNA analysis if necessary. I have permission from the family to do so if needed. So we're in a holding pattern for the next few weeks, and hopefully we get some answers. So keep your fingers crossed. Now to the subject, where have all the good men gone? Well, the short answer is that good men are still here. But ladies, you have been exploited to the point that you have priced yourselves out of the market. And before you start cussing me, let me explain. This is not a hit piece on women. I love you guys. You make the world go round. And although you have been at times a great source of stress for me, I still love you. And hopefully this information helps you because things have not been well between men and women for almost 70 years. And I think I know why. Some of this is going to be hard to swallow, but it's the truth. So back to pricing yourselves out of a market. And it's not monetary for the most part. It's the cost to a man's peace that's most important. But if you want to put dollars and cents to it, it's still not worth it. The divorce laws favor the woman, and the man is now not willing to pay that price. A man is not going to jeopardize all that he has worked for, his home, his earnings, his pension, his future, on an emotional decision by a woman who may take at least half of everything he has, if not more. And yes, women are emotional. You must be. And this is for a very good reason. This is not a weakness. This is a gift. God created you this way so you would be able to conceive, give birth, nurture the children, and populate the earth. Without emotional thinking, you wouldn't be able to nurture as well, and the children would suffer. Men can't nurture very well. We are rational thinkers, and for the most part, not very emotional. And if left up to us, up to the men, the human race would have been extinct long ago. That gift of great emotion was only given to women. But sometimes that emotional decision making can cause women very big problems in this modern world. And we weren't created for this modern world. We were created for a world that existed thousands of years ago. But God also gave us the brain and the power and the ability to change our world. And here we are. So at times we can cause problems for ourselves. And at times mankind is our own worst enemy. And history has countless examples of countries and societies failing because we got too far from God's divine design. And today, this is how we are killing ourselves. 50% of all first marriages end in divorce. 65% of second marriages end in divorce, and 75% of third marriages end in divorce. And women file for that divorce 70 to 90% of the time. Women are financially incentivized to get a divorce, not the men. Men, for the most part, are not looking to get out of the marriage. For the last year of my marriage, I slept in my basement on a small pad on the concrete floor so I could be there in the mornings for my daughter. I was finally ordered out of my house by the judge at my ex's urging. Men will sacrifice their happiness and their well-being for their children. Many women will sacrifice their children, home, and marriage for their happiness. And the three main reasons why women file for a divorce are because they are either unhappy, bored, or feel they are incompatible with the man. These are all emotional responses and not based on any articulable facts. Facts like my husband cheated on me or my husband physically abused me. And no-fault divorce allows these emotionally justified divorces to happen, and a man is powerless to stop it unless he wants to live in hell. The result of this is, and this is what women are dealing with today, is young boys have watched their fathers for decades go through this, and they have seen firsthand the unfairness of it. And now these young men who have grown into adulthood refuse to place themselves in the position of being financially ruined by a woman. These young men all talk amongst themselves, and many young men look at women today as vampires that will only suck the life out of you. This is why many young men are not even dating. Men are divinely designed to be committed and dedicated to their family, to provide, protect, lead, and risk their lives as needed. But they are not stupid. Women have been telling men for 70 years, you are not needed. You are toxic. You are misogynistic. You are a predator. And you are the oppressor. And men finally have heard you loud and clear, and they're saying, okay, knock yourselves out, ladies. In reality, many women have unrealistic emotional expectations, and they hang these emotional labels on men. And the man has no way to fight it. And I'm asking you, ladies, if you were a man, would you get married and almost certainly lose most of your stuff, your car, your house, your money, your pension? Would you? Would you get married? I don't think so. Men look at women now and believe that the marriage vows, till death do us part, mean nothing to a woman. That the vow of a lifelong promise of commitment and faithfulness is a lie. Marriage rates have dropped 60% in the past 50 years. That's amazing. So now a man looks at this and he can flip a coin to see if he's going to lose everything he has ever worked and sacrificed for, and that is a big hell no by most men. Men are programmed to make risk assessments, and it has become simply too risky in monetary and in terms of a man's peace to be in a marital relationship with a woman. The divorce laws must be changed if women want to find a good man, because good men are looking at this, shaking their heads and saying, no, the risk is too high. We need to get rid of no-fault divorce. If divorces were only granted for cause, as the divorce laws were prior to 1970, in causes such as infidelity or cheating or physical abuse, a good man would be more likely to want to get married, but not when the deck is stacked against him as it is today. Not when no fault is an option that incentivizes women to lean towards a divorce. So, ladies, if you have a good husband and he loves and cares for you, you may want to rethink this divorce idea for emotional causes, because most of the time that faraway pasture with that full, thick, lush green grass in it is nothing more than dirt painted green by single men and bitter single women. Ladies, you need to forget this strong, independent women horse shit because good men aren't buying it. And this is why so many women are miserable and lonely today. They jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire, and now into a dating atmosphere that good men are rejecting. The happiest women today are the married mothers, and that is fact. Single divorced mothers are prescribed twice as many antidepressants. The highest rates of suicide in women are the divorced, separated, or never married women. And the children are devastated by a divorce as well. The children are the ones who pay for a selfish, emotional decision. Children from a divorced home are more likely to have mental health issues, learning disabilities, drug addiction, and the children from a divorced home are 14% more likely to commit suicide. For my God, normally, and this is fact, normally, long term, nothing good comes from a divorce for the women and the children. I saw the struggles with my own children. If children are involved in a marriage, the laws need to be changed to where we must show cause to get out of that marriage for the man or the woman until those children are at least 18. The children have no voice in a divorce, and they suffer the most. The divorce laws need to be changed. They must be changed to protect and speak for the children. My daughter was 7 when she held onto my leg, cried, looked up at me and said, "Daddy, I don't want you to leave." I didn't want to leave either. I was forced out of my house to leave. And if you are over the age of 35 and you have children at home, the chances of you getting a good man is almost impossible. This is the truth. Many of the good men are already taken, and a single man, no matter his age, has better options with lots of younger women with no children. They are more fit, they are more agreeable, more willing, and they don't have all of this feminist bullshit in their heads that older women have been fed over the past 50 years. More and more young ladies today want to have children, be a homemaker, be dedicated to their husband and children, and they want to be taken care of by that man. And that is the type of women young men are now looking for. And you will hear some so-called marriage counselors, mostly female, say men want a strong, independent woman. That is so much horse shit. How is that working out for you? Counselors have been saying that for decades, and marriage rates continue to fall. Men don't care if a woman has a degree or a career. That has no benefit to most men. Young men instinctively want a woman to start a family with, to have a woman who helps them do whatever they can't do for themselves or don't like to do for themselves. Men have difficult jobs. They work hard, and when they get home, they don't want to do anything but rest, have a nice meal, and relax in peace. If they can't do this, they have no energy to go out and do their next job the next day. If a man is single, he doesn't have to worry about any of those issues that today's married men deal with. They see their married male friends dealing with today's modern feminist woman. The complaining, the stress, the drama, and the young men want no part of it. So ladies, you have to fit in that little niche that all working men have, or they're not going to be interested in you for anything other than a short fling. Because men will never change. They can't, and they won't even if they could. And if a woman can change a man, that's a beta male, and he's not worth having. And you just watch that relationship blow up. Fortunately, I have been seeing more and more positive signs in young women's behavior over the past few years. There are more and more young ladies out there who want to be mothers and homemakers and not be a baddie or a boss babe, because baddies and boss babes are not desirable by good men. If you think a good man wants a classless woman or a strong, independent woman, you are very much mistaken on both. Good men don't want a low-class woman or a woman with masculine traits. High-quality men are successful men because their values and their and they will never change them. And if you are one of those women who likes to sleep around and keep it a secret, I got news for you. It's never kept a secret by men. Men always talk. So if you have a high body count, lady, you are considered damaged goods by the men, and you will never get a high quality man. A good man wants a woman who shows gracious femininity. And I can't say this enough, ladies. If you listen to anything I say on this podcast, this is most important. Good men love gracious femininity in a woman. Show me a woman who exhibits class and grace, and I'll show you a very highly sought after woman that has her pick of good men. And right now, I only know a handful of that class of women, but some of them are pretty spectacular. If you are outside of that house and you show grace and femininity, you will be noticed by men. Men will be asking, who is that? Where's she live? How can I get a hold of her? If you're out there looking like something the cat dragged in, ladies, that's not class. That is a dime a dozen woman, and men don't care what you think is in style. Men are naturally attracted to gracious femininity in a good way, not in a cheap, sexual, superficial way that men can do. Men are dogs. But the way he may be attracted, and that's the way he may be attracted to an OnlyFans woman. A good man is not interested in a low-class woman, but a beta male will use a low-class woman and then leave her. And that is exactly the type of man that many women are dealing with today, beta males. With a gracious, feminine woman, a good man doesn't feel like he has to compete with her. They can both be themselves naturally. That is the best of both worlds. You need to trust me on this, ladies. And ladies, if you don't want to be a gracious, feminine lady, then be satisfied with the bottom of the barrel of the man world, because that is all you're ever going to get. You will be forever dealing with beta males. And this is another thing. A man is not going to raise another man's child if he can avoid it. A man wants to spend his hard-earned money on his own children and not somebody else's. And if you have children and you get a divorce, you're going to have to deal with all of those beta males, and it's not going to be fun. You're going to find out that beta males are nothing but leeches and trash. They will suck the life out of you and then dump you. Beta males are the equivalent to the females who turn themselves into online prostitutes on OnlyFans. These beta males are non-disciplined, low integrity, feminized, narcissistic men. And most beta males come from single mother homes as a result of a divorce years before. And they never had a father in their lives enough to teach them manly discipline, politeness, and honor. Nor was the father there enough to kick their asses when they needed it. And all, and I mean all, young boys need that from time to time. I sure did. And my mother will tell you to this day that my father did a great job in teaching 5 young boys manly discipline. He sure as hell did. He broke my nose and knocked me out when I was 17, and I deserved it. What I said should never be said to the man of the house. And mothers can't do that. It's against everything that you hold dear. It takes a strong father to do that, and it's biology. So, to get a good man in this day and age, you've got to be a real special lady to be selected. And in many men's opinion, there are not many real special women out there because of the stench that the feminist movement has left. And many men have stopped looking altogether. And this is the thing. Men enjoy being alone, ladies. We don't need someone in our homes. Men don't get lonely. We love our peace. When I talk to single men, they couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier after what I went through in my divorce. Men can take care of everything that comes up. We don't need an electrician, a plumber, a mechanic, someone to mow the grass, or anything else. And we don't care if someone tries to break into the house. We just shoot their asses. And if we want casual sex, well, that's available. And if we want a daily companion, we get a dog. Boo, come. Get up here. This is my dog. Get up here. Come on, get up here. Get up here. Come on. Oh, this is Boo. Oh, you're such a good boy. He was born on Halloween. Get up here. Oh, you're a good boy. All right, go. Bed, go. Bed, go. Bed, go. Any dog listens to what you tell him. And for the delusional women out there who think they don't need a man, then throw away everything you have or own because a man either created, built, designed, or provided every single item you have. So throw away your food, water, phone, car, clothes, makeup, and house. Basically, you would be standing naked in a field if it wasn't for men. And if all the men died today, every woman on this planet, except for the country girls who know how to survive, would be dead in less than a month. There would be no working infrastructure, no electricity, no running water, no gasoline, and no groceries at the store. Women would be drinking water out of a ditch to survive, and if you don't have the skill or the ability to build a fire and boil that water with the bacteria in it, you would die even sooner, in about 1 week. And at the end of that week, if you were somehow still alive, your pets would be on the food list by the second week. And the flip side to this is, if every woman in the world died today, all of the men would still live out their normal, natural lives. And all of the infrastructure would continue without pause. So there you go. Now that's the easy answer in a nutshell to where all the good men have gone in the dating atmosphere that we now face in this country. But that's a very small picture of a very large, complicated scene. We haven't always been this way. At one time, we flourished in this country. At one time, we understood our natural roles that God intended for all of us to play. So how did our society get to this point? That is the question that needs to be answered. We must get to the core of this problem, and it is very, very important that we do so if we're going to survive as a people, because our birth fertility rates are literally sinking all of us. We are a dying people. We are dying as a nation, and we have maybe 30 years to get this turned around, or it's going to be very, very bad. And I'm not making any judgments of responsibility or fault here, because we are all responsible and we are all at fault. We are all in this together. And for the women who want to blame men for this, it's not the American man who changed. Honey, it was the American women who changed. You ladies were exploited. You were lied to, and you believed it. And if you need to blame someone, blame Karl Marx and the liberal American women who embraced his communist, socialist views and then began the feminist movement. The feminist movement put the screws to all good American women. And the feminist movement wasn't to target and sway men. It was to target, sway, and exploit women. And you were. And if I was a woman, I would be madder than hell for being lied to over the decades and decades and being deceived. And for my recommendation on men, here you go. Good, high-quality men have high standards. They have boundaries, requirements, and they won't bend. They won't bend those boundaries at all. You either abide by them or you're gone. And the determination of being a high-quality man or not is not his occupation or how much money he makes. It is his integrity and his honor. He could be a NASA scientist, or he could be the man organizing produce in Kroger, or he could be the quiet coal miner that gets off work and shows up dirty at his son's basketball game, not having time to shower. And if a good man selects you, you will be treated like his queen, and you will have a great, loving life. If you don't want to be with a good, high-quality man, then become a strong, independent woman and go to work for a good, high-quality man who owns the company and has high standards, boundaries, and requirements of you as his employee. Or be with a beta male who has low standards and accepts any behavior. You can meet him in the bars or on dating apps, and he will use you up and then spit you out. Ladies, the choice is yours when it comes to men. But men are very simple creatures, and we will never change. So in my next podcast, in my next episode of No BS with Dr. Wood, I will continue with the unvarnished raw truth and also get into the science behind all of this, which is very, very interesting. The psychology, the research, the data, and the statistics. And you can come to your own conclusion about why this nation has a war between the sexes and why good men are now ignoring most women. And in doing my research, I was pretty alarmed because you can actually trace definite events and reasons for all of this happening. We were all set up and we were all lied to. And some of this is still going on today. And we are in pretty bad shape. And with my in-depth look, it has certainly opened my eyes. And if Elon Musk says exactly the same thing about this subject, maybe we should listen, because Elon, he's actually a pretty smart guy. He catches rockets falling from outer space, and no human being has ever done that before. And Elon describes our current situation this way. He says he is watching the death of humanity, and we are running out of time to fix it. And I agree. So, thank you for watching. Until next time, this is Dr. Wood signing off. God bless you, ladies. God bless West Virginia. And God bless America.